Later that afternoon, Bertie the bus arrived with Thomas's passengers. When all the passengers were safely on board, Thomas puffed away. Suddenly there was a problem. When Thomas puffed along his branch line, he realised the rails were slippery. Thomas went down a steep hill. Cinders and ashes, went Thomas. Why's the track so slippery? The driver put on the brakes, but Thomas skidded along the line. Help, went Annie and Clarabelle. We want to stop. So do I, went Thomas. Inside the signal was the signalman. The signalman quickly changed the points and Thomas got onto the other line. So lucky, Thomas was on the runaway line. Up ahead was another hill. Slowly and carefully, Thomas went up the hill and then he began to roll back down. So slowly and carefully, Thomas went up the hill, stopped halfway and rolled back to the bottom. So, in a siding, Clarabelle had come off the track and her wheels had sunk deep into the mud. The passengers were relieved. Luckily, no one was hurt and no one crashed. What could have made this happen? Said Thomas. There was oil on the line, said the driver. The fireman had to agree. I don't know who caused this oil spill. Now the passengers are going to be late. And I can't get Clarabelle out of the mud. So Thomas's driver and fireman went for help. Meanwhile, Diesel was filling up on oil. Then the Fat Controller went running up to him. After he heard what happened, the Fat Controller asked Diesel nicely, Diesel, Thomas has had an accident and he needs your help. Why me, sir? 'Cause you're the only engine available. Very well. And Diesel set off right away. While Thomas, Annie and Clarabelle were waiting, Diesel arrived. Here I am, Thomas. Diesel, what are you doing here? I've come to get you, Annie and Clarabelle back online. So Diesel coupled up to Thomas. And with all his strength, Diesel pulled as hard as he could. 3, 2, 1, now! Diesel pulled as hard as he could, but didn't give up. And in no time at all, Clarabelle was back onto the line. So, Thomas decided to continue on his journey. Clarabelle was so happy to have her wheels out of the mud, and she was back on solid rail. Thomas was a little bit worried that the passengers would be late. And in no time at all, Thomas made it to the station. The Fat Controller arrived at the station to talk to Diesel. It was really sad Diesel had to go soon. Clarabelle asked the Fat Controller to forgive him. Please, sir, if it weren't for Diesel, I would have been stuck in that mud forever. Well, I guess everybody deserves a second chance. Very well, Clarabelle. and the Fat Controller did forgive him. Then the Fat Controller spoke kindly. Diesel, I'm very proud of you. Come back to Sodor anytime you like. Thank you, sir. It would be an honor. Come back soon, Diesel, laughed Clarabelle. I will. And Diesel purred away. When Diesel was out of sight, Thomas went back to the shed with Annie and Clarabelle.